Today we're going to upgrade the 9300 machine. We're going to put a new updated sight glass slash flow meter on this machine. The tools we're going to need a marking device. We're going to have to trim the plastic top a little bit to get the new sight glass slash flow meter in place. So marking device, you're going to need an 11 millimeter socket. We need a pair of cutters, a file. The file we're going to use to actually do the trimming of the plastic on the top. We've got several wrenches, 9/16, 13, 11 millimeter. I've also got a small crescent wrench there if I need to use it. Right here's our kit. So I'm going to take it out of the box. Here's our new sight glass slash flow meter. We've installed a filter on this sight glass, basically to protect it from any debris or anything of that nature. What I want to point out is this thing, the filter, the cap. Actually, this filter is designed if it gets full of debris, you can actually take it apart and clean it. So the cap right here needs to be closest to the sight glass so that it'll work like it's supposed to. We're going to remove it just for installation purposes, but I'm going to remember that I need the cap on the flow meter side of the system. Also, what I want to mention is when we put this into the machine, we're going to want to, this long hose is going to go on the right side of the machine. So our pellet, our flow direction is going to go that direction. So we need to make sure that we put the sight glass in the right fashion, that way that it works like it's supposed to. So I'm going to start by removing the old. There is a little zip tie down in here that I'm going to cut the zip tie out of I'm going to cut that zip tie out of there just to give me a little bit more room when it comes to working on that on these hoses. So there's two retaining bolts back here that we've got to take off. The two retaining bolts, fasteners. I'll get that later. All right. So there we go. So I'm going to take my wrenches, go the right direction. So once again, we want to make sure we keep these hoses straight, okay? And when we put the new sight glass on there, we want to make sure we put the hoses on the right side. So I'm going to make sure I pay attention to that when I put it back together. Lay this over to the side so I know where it goes. So we've got a cover plate that we're going to use as a template to mark the lid so that we'll have room to put the new sight glass in place. So as you can see, I'm trying to get this template halfway in between these two plates. I just get it in there, and I'm going to mark it. There we go. I'm trimming this top, these two, the inside ones, you don't have to be real specific there, but on the outside one where the retaining fasteners go, we don't want to take too much material off. So. I'm using a file. You can use whatever you've got to trim this plastic. So I'm going to check, make sure that it fits. Like I need to take a little bit more off of the retaining fasteners. Like I said earlier, I don't want to take too much off. There we go. So I'm going to get my hose, feed it back through here, way that I can bolt it up, be a little bit easier than bolt it up from the underneath side. Again, we want to make sure we put the sight glass going in the right direction. Feed it. You can see where my pellet is, and you can see it's on the right side, and also the long hose is attached to the block. We're putting it in on the right side. So. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this hose up. Now we've got, the kit comes with a washer and the retaining fasteners, so we want to make sure that we get the washer in there. Once again, I'm going to make sure I got my washer so that it goes in place. Take my ratchet, tighten it up. Go. So next I'm going to get my filter in place. Once again, we want the cap on the sight glass flow meter side. So this is actually the hose that goes to the bottom of the tank. So Just gonna feed it back through here, help keep it out of the way of other components. It have to be super tight. Because we don't want it to leak. We kind of feed it back behind the drawer here so it doesn't get in the way of the drawer. And that should be fine. And that's it. If you have any questions, get a hold of BG Technical Service.